Hi everybody, this is Debbie Ray and I'm owner of PedigreePups.com, and today I want to take a little time to share some information with you about crate training. Now I have a lot of people ask me, do I really need to crate train my dog? Do I need to buy a crate? And what I can tell you is, it's a very important piece of equipment to have if you're a dog owner for a lot of different reasons, and you may not know it right now, but when you need that crate you'll know and you'll wish you had it. So if you go ahead and start crate training your dog as quickly as you get it, as soon as you get it home, and go ahead and get that crate and just make that one of the first pieces of equipment you buy, along with the collar and the leash and everything else, you'll be, very, very satisfied down the line, I can assure you. Now what I want to share with you today, I want to talk with you about some of the basic crate training tips, and just so you'll be aware of some of the things that you should do when you're crate training your dog. And one of the first things you want to do, and this is probably the most important, is you never ever want to use the crate when you're disciplining your puppy or if you're punishing it for some reason. You simply don't want that puppy to ever create a negative association with the crate or with the fact that it has to be in the crate in the first place. Another thing, you never want to let that puppy out of the crate if it's being fussy. You want to train your puppy to be quiet and be patient, and then it'll get out when it is quiet and patient. If you ever let that dog out when it's acting up during the crate training process, you will train it to act up and to be fussy in order to get out, and this is not what you want. Once you've taught your dog to do this, to act up and to be fussy and everything to get out, it's really, really hard to train it to be quiet, which is really what you want when it's being crate trained. The next thing you want to think about is you want to start crate training that puppy as early as you can, or if you brought home a dog that you've rescued or whatever, you want to make sure that you start as early as you can, because it'll make it a whole lot easier down the line. Another thing is, if you start training your puppy or dog as soon as you get it, you'll make sure that you teach the dog to accept this as its room, and this will make it a lot less difficult when you need to confine your adult dog later on. Another thing you want to think about is you want to start crate training with short periods of confinement, and you want to use lots and lots of praise. If you make this a game, the puppy will enjoy the crate training process. You can also begin with just a few seconds at a time, and then eventually, gradually increase the amount of time the dog is in the crate over a long period of time. You want to give your puppy a blanket, and if it has your smell on it, so much the better. Give it some toys and a treat, and teach it to be happy when it's in the crate. The amount of time you can safely keep your puppy in a crate each day can be determined by the dog's age. One rule of thumb is, let me take that back before we go to that. A small puppy can't be expected to hold it forever, so what you want to do is you want to begin crating your puppy for a few minutes at a time in the crate training process, and then gradually increase that time it's in the crate over a very long period of time. One good rule of thumb to remember when you're crate training your puppies is its age. For example, if your puppy is 3 months old, then you can expect the puppy to be able to hold it around 3 hours. If your puppy is 4 months old, you can expect it to hold it around 4 hours. If your puppy is 5 months of age, you can expect it to hold it around 5 hours, but you never ever want to go past 6 hours, no matter how old that dog or that puppy is. 6 hours in a crate is the maximum amount of time any dog should ever be crated for any one session. Now when you leave your puppy in the crate, one of the last things you want to do is do that. You want to make sure that you don't make a big fuss over it, and that as you're walking out the door, you put that puppy in the crate and go ahead and leave. Now once the dogs are full grown and they're completely crate trained, an average of 6 hours per day can be safely maintained almost indefinitely if needed. Now I would never ever suggest you going past this amount of time, however, and afterward, when you do let the dog out, make sure you give it lots of exercise and plenty of personal attention. Longer periods of time being crated can cause a lot of health and behavioral problems, and these things are something you want to avoid. Bladder infections and other kinds of health problems can result from having to consistently hold it for long periods of time. Also, if you let that puppy if you make it hold it for long periods of time, eventually it's going to eliminate just out of pure need. And once the dog has done this, it's really, really difficult to correct this problem. Another thing you want to remember is you want to make sure the crate is big enough for your dog, but not too big. Now if you have a puppy and you're not sure, ask your breeder or your veterinarian to help you estimate the adult size of that dog. If you get a crate that's large enough for your dog as an adult, just make sure you partition it off so that it's only big enough to allow the puppy at its current size and this could easily change, as the puppy grows. So if you give a puppy a small puppy, a very large area to stay in when it's crated, it can easily relieve itself in one area and sleep in another, and once it establishes this habit, it's really hard to break. One way to avoid this problem entirely is by allowing the puppy to sleep only in an area large enough to stand, to sleep, and to turn around in when crated. The crate should be at least as long as the puppy is from the base of the skull to the base of its tail, and at least as tall as the height from the top of its shoulders to the ground. Also, it's perfectly fine if the dog has to stoop a little bit when it's entering into the crate for the first time. Now, crates are an ideal tool if you're traveling. Crate-trained pets are also allowed at a lot of hotels and motels, and crates also allow you that extra security for your pet in the event that there's an unexpected breakdown or some kind of emergency that may happen while you're on the road. Now, if you combine all of these crate training tips with proper daily planning, you and your pet can easily learn this crate training process and be able to follow it in no time at all. Crate training provides a safe haven for your puppy as it matures, and it is also an invaluable tool for the pet owner. For more advice on using a crate as a training aid, speak with a professional dog trainer or veterinarian, or please visit my website for more information about dogs at www.pedigreedpups.com. And I hope this information has helped you learn something new, and if you have any other questions, please visit my website and read up all you can on dogs. Thank you so much for visiting, and have a good day.